Okay, so we are live now. Welcome to another episode of Entab CampusCare EdTalks, an exclusive platform where we invite pioneers from the education industry to share their years of experience and insights with us. So, before moving forward, let me introduce you to Entab. With an experience of more than 2 decades, Entab has been associated with over 1,500 schools across India, evolving them to become new age digital campuses by providing them mature and futuristic ERP, CRM, and mobile apps. In today's session, we'll discuss about balancing between teacher-centric and student-centric classrooms. We'll understand that how can the education system has shifted towards being student-centric over the years. So, to discuss the same, we have Fathima Shabnam, the principal of Sloka International School, Hyderabad. In her educational journey of more than a decade, ma'am has been involved in curriculum development, training and implementation, analysis of school performance, mentoring and coaching. So welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Entab, for actually providing this kind of a platform for all the educators where they get to share their thoughts and ideas. And I have seen your previous episodes also with so many educators. It is really wonderful and like a thought process for all of us to share the knowledge. And this is something really a good one, I can say. Congratulations. Good job Entab is doing. So I would say thanks for that one. Like you can just go ahead with this.
Okay. Yeah. So moving forward, so ma'am, in your opinion, how has the education system shifted from being teacher centric to student centric over the years?
Yeah. So Megha, I've been really fortunate to be traveling across the country. Okay. With different schools. So I have got to work with different capacity schools like a CBSE school or an international board school. So we have got to visit different kinds of schools and different kinds of teachers and parents and students. So I can really say there is a paradigm shift from teacher centered to us learner centered. We are seeing a big change, a big shift is happening over here. So in fact, I can see education has been reimagined. So when we look at this paradigm shift from a teacher-centered learning to a student-centered learning, I see that there are 4 phases in my past years of experience that I have noticed. So I see it has been the 4 shifts that what I can discuss in brief with you is like the schools have started moving from standardization to personalization. When we talk about personalization, it is about not the personal touch. Like obviously, yes, technology and everything has come up for the personalization. You have customization in everything. But I can say one statement over here which says one size doesn't fit all. So this suits the best over here, where all educators and most of the schools have started thinking on this. There is no standard procedure, standard teaching pattern that is happening in the schools right now. So you will see here more focus on the individual needs, individual learners' requirement over here. So you will get to see that learners are getting an opportunity to analyze themselves. Teachers are analyzing individuals and trying to find out what learning style adopted this, where in a classroom they are having multiple learning and teaching styles. So a child with a visual learner or kinesthetic learner, they are getting an option to get personalized their learning. They can learn in the different ways. So we can see a diversification in the classroom. A teacher is just not coming and doing a lecturing method. So teacher is showing a presentation, giving some activity for them to do it. At the same time, giving a lecture method also, giving an explanation for them. So that is the first shift I had seen in schools that they have gone forward for. Once the school achieves this, then they generally go from making it a passive to an active learning situation. The second shift actually focuses here more on students not responding passively. In earlier times, the classes would be more of a teacher centered, and like teacher would say and the student would listen and the student would just passively respond in the examination. But now if you see, institutions are not looking for that. The teachers are not looking forward for that. So they're looking forward where the students are responding to them actively. So when you look for this, we see schools coming out with the student learning conferences. We come out with portfolios that students develop and share with them. So here it is active participation of students that they do it in the learning part of it. When we look at it, as schools come out with the exhibitions, the different design thinking patterns, and so those things is being discussed in and implemented in most of the schools. The third shift what I see over here is from the focus is being moved from product to process. So earlier it was only the end product, the report card, the results, what a child is getting. But now the schools, the institution, the parents, the children, the teachers, everyone have started focusing on the learning process. End result is the topmost or not, that's not the worry right now. They're looking forward in the process, what am I learning it? So is this process helping me out? So there was one I can say a hurdle for the teachers generally, grading. And always it is a battle for a teacher, whether to give it to a child on that day, whether the child didn't perform. So that was one big hurdle I think most of us have crossed over and have come out with a different concept of a report card, with a feedback system, with an observation system, with an anecdote in the schools, where we are coming out with a exhibition. Like they have come out with that thought process that the children have started for each other. And we see here the major part is like feedback. And feedback is an awesome tool, I can say, for anybody, let it be anyone. So that's something which everyone would adopt, take it forward, and see that there is a change. So the bigger picture is all about not the black and white marks right now. So it's more about how the process is going, what is that your experience is, how you're learning it. In that process, there is nothing specific, okay, this is the learning out, cannot go, you cannot question, that is not there. So most of the schools I have seen that these approaches have been adopted. So that's the third shift, I can say. And the fourth shift, what I look forward in most of the school, and I'm happy to see being a trainer, being an academician, is delivering content. The focus from a delivering content to an authentic application has come into picture. Here it is like, if I say the design thinking process, most of the schools are adopting that process, where they're looking for the problem. They're looking for the problem as an empathetic way. Some others problem children are looking for it, coming out with their own ideas. They're coming out with a testing, a prototype, trial, and then testing it, applying it, whether it works or not. So that's something which is required. And today, schools and colleges are preparing children for industry ready, for which we see schools and colleges with internships, cadetships, integrated programs, where they are learning as well as working to apply. And if you see today's century, the companies over here industry. So there is a complete huge paradigm shift, I can say, which is actually happening. And these shifts give me a hope. And I can say with that, yes, there is an education that is reimagined in India. So that is something which I would say, that's how there is a shift from a teacher-centered to a student-centric approach.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Very well said. So, moving on, ma'am, how the audience wants to know, how have schools handled the online classes by being both student-centric and teacher-centric? So, what are your views on this?
I remember, I think March 13th was the time in Hyderabad. We got an information the schools have to close down and there's something coming up like a lockdown, like nothing has to function and all. So that's the time on 13th March. And I think in my own school on 17th March, my team was ready. with an alternative solution. So we did not think about anything much, but whatever the resources we were having, a communication tool was a WhatsApp. We started sending videos and worksheets, everything through WhatsApp. And then on, when I was interacting at that time, like as a principal, as educator, I was thinking what other schools are also doing, how they are going to tackle this problem. That interacting, communicating, I saw all the schools were really struggling. Like we were really not able to picturize what is that exactly we are going to do. But I really want to congratulate those leaders who really took this daring step of starting these online classes. That is something what the schools had started off with. Second, I would really say these apps. I would really want to thank this Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet. These people made our life easier. If you see a century back when there was a pandemic, everything was shut down. No education, nothing was functioning. But you see 100 years back later, that is today, we can see everything is possible. So for a teacher, it is a boon, I can say. Zoom app or Microsoft or Google. One good thing I can say, they have given a lot of free trainings, videos, and YouTube, I can say. That's one of the greatest teacher I can say today. YouTube helps us to learn a lot of things. So many teachers, educators got updated. Schools got updated without investing also, because we were not very clear whether we are going to get results or not, whether it will happen or not. So this is something which the schools adopted. Then what I've seen is that the educational platform, like example, you are doing this platform. I think lot of webinars. I don't know how many webinars we have attended till date. So let it be teachers or the principals or any educators. Everybody is trying to share their knowledge. Even now, like I've been just seeing your previous episodes also, where you're talking about the distractions in the online classes, connecting with the children in the online classes. How do we ensure and motivate children to come to online class? So all these are the common problems, and this is a platform where we are getting to share our things. I think schools have taken all these points and like have very well moved to an online classes, online schools, virtual learning that is happening. And I can say last year June we always struggling with all the technology, teaching teachers with the laptops, with the apps and everything. But this year's I can say very proudly, most of the schools have focused on the student-centric, teacher-centric focus, what we have to do it in this online session. Last year was just more about exploring technology. This year was more on learning how to do it. So, and definitely schools have taken it ahead in a very smooth manner. And I can only say one thing, this pandemic might have affected all of us, but for education industry, it has taken 10 years forward, I can say. Because of this COVID, all of us have gone 10 years ahead and learned a lot of things. So that's what I say, that the schools have moved forward in this way and have smoothly taken up things. And who have left out, somewhere they were not having confidence or lack of confidence or lack of resources, but they are also having this option now. And I can see so many schools are coming back, and the trust from the parents and students, they're coming back to the schools. Yes, we want to join our child in our online classes. So that's something is my experience, and I can say the schools have really done a great job.
Absolutely, ma'am. So moving on to the end of the webinar. So ma'am, in your opinion, do either of the approaches guarantee good results and classrooms, or it has been a balance?
Mega, both have their pros and cons. We completely can't rely on a teacher-centric approach, nor completely rely on the student-centric approach, because it has both its advantages and disadvantages. So to tell you, teachers getting involved into the student-centric approach is very much important. They say a saying, right? Sage on the stage and guide on the side. I would love to reiterate this: sage on the stage and guide on the side. A teacher need to play both the roles. So at times, teacher need to speak at being the center of the class, give explanations, give information, give inputs, give the guidance. At the same time, the teacher needs to take a role of a guide, a coach, a mentor, a facilitator, where a teacher needs to keep guiding these people how to go on. So where she will be passive enough in the classroom, and she will ensure and empower the children become active. They come out with the learning. And I can say there is something called flipped learning that's happening nowadays in most of the schools. So the flipped learning part is something which is really taking a race now, where children are being balanced with both. Like teacher is giving a better platform, resources and everything. So teacher is the main focus here. There is no shift in the teacher's approach. Teacher is required. Teacher is the main focus, center point. The teacher should know when should she take a backseat. Teacher should know when she should take a lead. So I believe it's a balance of both. So both has to be considered, then only we can go forward for this.
Absolutely right, ma'am. So thank you so much, Fatima ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights upon this beautiful topic, and it was great interacting with you. So thank you so much, Fatima ma'am, for being with us.
Thank you.
And to all of viewers who are watching us, if you haven't subscribed our channel, do subscribe it for regular updates. Till then, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you.